Namaskar friends, welcome to the session of Quality of India. Myself Aryan Vishwakarma, and in this program we are going to learn about the latest quality management system standard, that is 9001-2015. So when we talk about quality management system, this 9001 is a general quality management system which applies to any kind of industry. So irrespective of the business you are into, you could be in manufacturing, you could be in service industry. For example, you are manufacturing some bottles or pen, or you are into restaurant business, or you are having schools. So this ISO 9001-2015, this can be applied to any kind of industries, and it's a general quality management system standard. So ISO, when we say, it stands for International Organization for Standardization. So it's an apex body which governs the development of various standards, and this 9001 series is for quality management system, and this 2015 stands for the year in which the standard has been released. So let's understand some of the important aspect of this quality management system. So first of all, let's understand why do we need to have a quality management system in first place. So friends, let's say there is a company and the company has some goal. This is the goal of the company and they want to achieve that goal, or you may say vision, or they have some target. Okay. So they have goal, but they don't have any system. Okay. So without system, they cannot achieve the goal. Now there is another company which has some system in place, but they don't have any goal. It is also fruitless. So this is also not going to work for them. So a company having goal but not having system, and another company having system but not having goal, either of them is not going to survive. So to survive in this competitive market, you need to have some goal, some target, and you need to have some system also in place. So when you talk about quality management system, this quality management system or ISO 9001 basically takes you to this goal, or with the help of quality management system, you can easily achieve your goal. So when we talk about quality management system, this helps us in many ways. You can see here, it will be helping you to reduce waste, preventing mistakes, lowering cost, facilitating and identifying training opportunities. Of course, with the help of quality management system, you will see that the organization is very stable, very organized. People are clear about their roles and responsibility. They know what are the standards to be followed and how the consistency in the business, in the processes can be retained. So there are many benefits. There are engaged staffs, setting organization-wide direction. So clear-cut direction can be set by the top management for everyone. And there would be communication within the organization, with the supplier, to the customer. Okay. So everywhere, throughout the value chain, you can have clear-cut communication. So when we talk about quality management system, it helps the organization ultimately to become a very successful organization. And you may also say that quality management system is a foundation for your continual improvement journey. So friends, when we talk about the latest version of quality management system, it has total 10 clauses. You can see here, starting 3 clauses, scope, normative, reference and terms and definition. These are called non-auditable clauses. And starting from 4th, that is context of the organization, then leadership, planning, support, operation, performance evaluation and implementation. These clauses are called auditable clauses. And when we compare this, the latest version with the older version, you can see the earlier version of 2008 model, we had only total 8 clauses, whereas in the latest version we have 10 clauses. The quality management system is developed based on PDCA cycle. So PDCA cycle, which is developed by Dr. Edward Deming, which stands for Plan, Do, Check and Act. So you can see over here, in planning, which is the biggest phase, we have 4 clauses, that is context of the organization, leadership, planning and support. Then do, which is the execution, okay, execution phase. So here we have the biggest clause, that is clause number 8, operation. Then we have a check phase, which is clause number 9, performance evaluation. So all the evaluation and then internal auditing, various kinds of auditing, all those things would be done in the phase of clause number 9 or check phase. And finally we have act phase, which is basically clause number 10. So here we have a continual improvement also. And the quality management system is based on 7 quality management principles, which is customer focused, leadership, engagement of people, process approach, improvement, evidence based decision making and relationship management. As compared to the older version, we had 8 management principles. Now we have 7 management principles. I have already made an exclusive video on these 7 quality management principles. You can check our video gallery at YouTube. And when we talk about approach of ISO 9001, we have 3 critical gears over here. So process approach, which is ultimately important for any organization, and that is proposed by quality management system also, that every organization must be working on process approach. So they should be identifying processes, and when we talk about processes, they should be identifying various kinds of resources used for processes, what are the inputs, what are the outputs, how the process is interacting. So all those things need to be identified, which is elaborated in clause number 4. Okay, and we have turtle approach also, even though not mandatorily prescribed by ISO 9001, but still lot many organizations they use turtle diagram for process approach. You also explore exclusive video on turtle diagram on YouTube. And the second one is PDC approach. So plan, do, check and act. So this has been in place since 2000 version of ISO 9001, and this is the new addition in the latest version of 2015. So 2015 now talks about risk-based thinking. So whatever you do, you have to think about the risk associated with your business, risk to the customer. Okay, so whether it is incoming inspection, whether you are doing some production, manufacturing or servicing activities. So in all the activities, in all the processes, you have to think about the risk to the business, and wherever the risk is higher, you have to focus more over there to minimize the risk. And when you go through the standard, you will find in lot many clauses SAL requirement. So wherever SAL is mentioned, that is basically talking about mandatory requirements. If you don't comply to this mandatory requirement, wherever SAL is mentioned, you will be liable for non-compliances. So SAL means it's a must for the organization to follow. And wherever should is there, should means recommendation. So that's a good practice. This is also sort of a recommendation from the standard to the organization which is implementing quality management system. This is also advisable to be followed. And the note and suches, wherever it is mentioned in the standard, these are for clarification or for guidance. In lot many clauses you will see that notes are given down below. Somewhere you will find one note, somewhere you will find multiple notes. So those are basically for clarifying the content of the various clauses and sub clauses. And suches is also for guidance only. Now the first auditable clause, that is clause number 4, this talks about context of the organization, which is basically talking about what exactly is the purpose of the organization. So you need to identify the purpose of the organization. You need to also identify needs and expectation of interested parties over here, and then you have to define the scope of the quality management system, and then quality management system and its processes needs to be identified. So this is in a broad sense about clause number 4. So friend, this is a short video to make you aware about the quality management system. If you want to explore details of quality management system and you want to become a certified or qualified internal auditor, you may explore our detailed course which is available on our portal. You can go to www.qualityhappiness.com, or you may visit our portal, that is courses.qualityhappiness.com, or you may download Quality Hub India's app, which is available at Google Play Store and iOS Store also. And we have more than 100 courses available, which is available in Hindi and English. So based on your preferred language, you can select the course and you can buy directly from there. In case of any query, you may contact us, and for any consultancy or for training program at your organization, for that also you can reach out to us. So now let's proceed further. Now the next clause is leadership. So the leadership or top management. So everything about top management is recommended by the standard in this clause. So top management or leadership is very much important for the success of any organization. And in this clause we have 3 sub clauses. These are called sub clauses. So clause number 5 is leadership, which is the main clause, and 5.1, 5.2 and 5.3 are sub clauses. So 5.1 talks about leadership and commitment. So various kinds of responsibility or commitment which the top management should be carrying for implementation of or for effectiveness of quality management system. Those all things are prescribed in clause number 5.1. 5.2 talks about quality policy, what should be the content and how this should be developed. Those things are there in clause number 5.2. 5.3 talks about top management's role in deciding roles, responsibility and authorities of different levels within the organization, because this is very much essential for top management to ensure that all the department heads and all the supervisors and other staff members and people working within the company, they are clear about their roles and responsibilities, they know what is their authorities, and it is properly being identified, it is being communicated, it is being reviewed, so that people feel comfortable in executing their activities and responsibilities. So in 5.1 you can see lot many responsibilities has been given to the top management. It's a sort of commitment they need to show for implementation of quality management system and to make it effective also. So they are responsible for communication of quality management's importance within the organization. They need to also ensure that systems achieves its intended results. So for that they need to be reviewing it, doing MRM, and lot many activities they need to engage themselves, and engaging, directing and supporting various people within the organization to see that the organization is working properly to achieve its intended result or target or objective. And the top management must be also promoting improvement culture within the organization, supporting for other relevant management roles like providing resources. If there are some bottlenecks somewhere, they need to remove the bottlenecks, okay, and availability of resources for QMS implementation. So you will see that lot many organizations, they have management representative and associate MR or other members within the organization who are basically working for seeing that system is effectively implemented. Even though 9001 exclusively nobody talks about having MR, but still lot many organizations they have MR in place, because there has to be somebody supporting top management in executing various activities of the top management, ensuring that internal audits are conducted on time and then actions are taken properly, and then internal means various kinds of audit. Lot many organizations will have system audit, process audit, product audit. So all those things are properly carried out, supplier control, supplier management. So MR would be MR or somebody. You may say the person, a process owner or maybe quality manager or anybody can be responsible who is basically supporting the top management to ensure that quality management system is effective within the organization. But this is the accountability of the top management, because the standard basically asks the top management to ensure all these responsibilities. So how top management ensures, it is up to him, whether he himself is engaged or he is putting MR into task. Then comes clause number 6, which is about planning, and here we have 3 sub clauses. Action to address risk and opportunities. So you need to identify risk. So risk assessment, which is the major focus area for the latest version. So whatever the context of the organization needs and expectation of the interested parties you have identified in clause number 4, that needs to be taken care over here further to ensure that whatever risks are associated to the needs and expectation of interested parties, those things are properly assessed. So here the standard is recommending the organization to devise some methodology, some criteria, okay, to assess the risk. And wherever the risk is higher, you need to initiate some action. And then 6.2 talks about quality objectives and planning to achieve them. So that also very much important for the organization. And then planning for changes. So change management basically 6.3. Then comes clause number 7, which is support. And here we have 5 sub clauses. Various kinds of resources, whatever is needed like manpower, infrastructure, all those resources needs to be identified by the organization and ensure that those things are placed. Competency of people very much important. So whoever is working within the organization, whatever roles they are playing, they should be competent, and they should be also aware about various kinds of policy. They should be aware about their roles and responsibility, how their works are getting impact to the customers and all these things. And then communication also needs to be ensured by the organization. So here it talks about internal communication and external communication. And then finally 7.5 talks about documented information, so document control. So document control is very much important for any organization. So how the control needs to be done, all those things are described in clause number 7.5. So right now talking about in a broader sense on various clauses, as I have told you, this is a brief session to make you understand what exactly this quality management system is, so that you get a broader perspective of this latest version of quality management system, and you want to explore this thing in detail, you want to become certified or qualified internal auditor, you must approach us or explore our online courses. And then comes clause number 8, which is operation. This is the biggest clause we have, and here we can see there are 7 sub clauses. So operation means whatever activities you are doing, whether you are doing manufacturing or service. So this is the core area of your organization, that is the operation. Okay, suppose you are doing some assembly activities, so all those things would be covered over here. Okay, so operational planning and control, those things are explained over here. And what are the requirement for product and services whichever you are managing, those things needs to be identified over here. Then here it talks about design and development of product and services if you are design responsible. So how that needs to be done, some guideline over here, some requirement. And then your supplier control, that is control of externally provided process, product and processes. So basically talking about your suppliers or vendor control, their management, all those things are mentioned in 8.4. So to the purchasing guys or for the supplier quality assurance guys, this 8.4 clause is very much important for you. Then 8.5 talks about production and service provision. 8.6 talks about release of product and services. So how the release needs to be done, how that needs to be managed, and various kinds of control on NC product or defective product. Those things are there in 8.7. So this is very much important as far as the core business of the organization is concerned. So this thing needs to be understood in detail. So it's a very lengthy clause and needs to be understood properly. And clause number 9, here it talks about performance evolution. And when we talk about PDCA cycle, this comes in check phase, which is the third phase. So all the checks will be done over here, that is performance evolution. And here we have 3 sub clauses. We have internal audits or your system audit, or if you are doing some other kind of audit like process audit, product audit, that can be covered over here. As far as the 9001 is concerned, it doesn't talk exclusively or categorically about manufacturing process audit or product audit, which is part of IATF 16949. But as a good practice, you may use it if you are into manufacturing. Okay, but standard does not categorically talks about that. Then management review, or which is popularly called MRM, management review meeting, that is also part of 9.3. So what should be the input of MRM, what should be the output of MRM, how MRM should be managed, and then how internal audit should be conducted. You should be deciding the frequency, all those things, planning and everything. Those things are part of 9.2. 9.1 talks about monitoring, measurement, analysis and evaluation, very much important. So whatever processes you are carrying out within your organization, whether it is manufacturing or service activity, you must be having different departments, and all the departments must be having their objectives, or you may say KRA and KPI. So here it talks about you need to monitor, you need to measure all those KRAs and KPIs, your processes, you need to be monitoring them, and if you get some data, those needs to be analyzed, and then evaluation of result, whether the actions taken based on analysis are effective or helping you to achieve your desired objective or not. So all those things are part of 9.1. Very important clause, 9 clause. Okay, 3 sub clauses over here. And finally we have clause number 10, which talks about improvement. Okay, so as far as PDCA is concerned, this is the final phase, that is act phase. And here we have 3 sub clauses again. First one is general. Second one, 10.2, talks about non-conformity and corrective action. So corrective action is very much important for every organization, because when you have failure, when you have non-conformity anywhere in the system, whether it is any functions or department or process, you have to initiate corrective actions on the root causes. Okay, and then you should be also making continual improvement in all the processes, all the practices you are doing within your organization. So here you will get lots of input, lots of insight about making continual improvement. So the standard is very much important for any organization who strives to become a global business house. If you want to continually improve your processes and practices, this is the foundation of implementing and getting certified to 9001. So ISO 9001 is going to basically help your organization in putting the basic foundation in place, so that your organization can have organization chart, roles and responsibility defined, KRAs and KPIs identified, those things are monitored and measured, action plannings are initiated on the gap areas, and there are trend of continual improvements. And if you want help in implementing quality management system, you can contact us. We can support you in implementation of quality management system, or if you require any training program for building competency within your organization, whether it is problem solving tool, whether it is Lean Six Sigma, whether it is TQM or TPM, Quality Hub India is one-stop solution for your business issues. Feel free to contact us. See you in next video. Jai Hind.